Hi, welcome. I'm going to show you how to make the blueberry coffee cake. I've got some people coming over tomorrow for brunch, and this is a perfect addition. It's so yummy, those blueberries. It sprinkles cinnamon on top, cinnamon sugar, and the smell, you can't smell. It's in the oven right now, the 9-inch round, but I'm going to show you how to make it, and then we're going to put them in cupcake pans, little mini ones. So what you're going to need is 4 ounces of cream cheese, and I like to do room temperature, so try to do that. And a half a stick of butter, softened. Use a good quality butter. When you're baking, it always makes a world of difference. And you're going to need, hold on 1 second, a teaspoon of vanilla, pure vanilla extract. Okay, and then 3 tablespoons of water. There you go. Oops, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna beat this a little bit for the butter and the cream cheese to kind of blend. Okay, just ever so slightly. Then we're going to use the dry mix. And you add that. There we go. Put that over there. Now, this is going to be it's pretty thick. And it is hard to kind of blend those blueberries in there. I've already got a pre-measured blueberry. It's 2 cups. I don't go over the 2 cups. If anything, I'd rather you do shyer of the 2 cups of the frozen blueberries. And then when you pull the frozen blueberries out, if it has a lot of ice crystals, make sure you're kind of getting all that ice off of those, not every single bit, but you know, a lot of those chunks of ice off. It'll make the coffee cake too moist if you keep it all in there. All right, I gotta blend it a little bit. It's gonna be fine. And then I am going to add the frozen blueberries. My mom's gonna help me get them into the cupcake pans too. Thank you. Okay. And you see, they're frozen. They got most of those ice crystals off, no big chunks. Dump them in. And this is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, and I'm not even kidding. It's just trying to get those blueberries mixed, incorporated, I should say, into the dough. You see? I'm just working it in. The dough kind of turns a little purple pink color from the blueberry. Now you can use fresh. You just kind of have to remember that the dough is really super thick. So some of your fresh blueberries will be, you know, broken up, but you know, I've used fresh too, so just be a little gentle with it. As gentle as possible. And when you're baking this, the oven is preheated at 350, and it takes, for the 9-inch, it probably takes good 50 minutes, 50 to 60 minutes in the oven. That's why I usually do it the day before, if I'm going to use it for a brunch or something. And then just reheat it with foil over it, you know, when you need it. So, okay, I think think that's gonna be probably as good as I can. I'm gonna put them in, you see? What you're gonna need is cinnamon sugar also. I use the pan spray to kind of spray them down a little bit. We're going to put them in, scoop them out. I'm going to plop them in there. I don't put too much. If you're going to be doing it into muffin pans, I would highly recommend that you don't put them into the great big ones. I don't know, I worry about it, you know, getting all the way done, all the way through, because it would be so thick of a dough. And when they're in the 9-inch square or round, it's a thin layer, and then it rises up some. And in these little muffin pans, it's just a little thin layer too. So I would keep it at a thinner. Oop, lost a blueberry. It also takes a long time to bake is because the blueberries are frozen. So keep that in mind when you're using the fresh, that it won't probably take as long. And this is a great recipe mix also because it is egg free. So if any of you out there that have that diet, the allergen of egg free, try this though. It's good. It's not dairy free, but it is egg free. But it is a cold, wintry day around here, so nothing is better than just going ahead and getting all your baking done. Now, if you do the regular medium-sized muffins, they'll make about 12. But the other one's in the oven, and it should be done. And I wanted to show you what it looked like. But basically, it's the same thing. When you're working with the 9-inch round or 9-inch square, this dough, you can see how it's thick. You know, it doesn't pour into the, these individual containers, and it sure doesn't pour into that 9-inch. You kind of have to plop it in there, and then you pat it out to the shape of the pan. So just make sure you know that it, don't worry if you think, oh my gosh, it's so thick. But that's the way it is. I'm going to start sprinkling the cinnamon sugar. I just picked up a local, one that you get at your store. Sprinkle it right on top before you bake it. Now these freeze really good. So you can keep them in your freezer, pop them out a few at a time. If you're having coffee. That's the reason why I make these little ones, because, it's a dangerous thing if you have the whole pie in front of me. I'm better if it's just frozen, little bites coming out. And they end up like that. And then we stick them in the oven, and they'll probably go into the oven. These too will also go in a good 30 minutes. But test them after, say, 20, or look at them and make sure. Okay, let's check on the blueberry coffee cake. Ooh, looks good, looks good. Smells wonderful. Here it is. The smell with that cinnamon sugar on top, it just sets it, and it looks great. It's going to cut into it great. You can check it with a toothpick when it comes out, but we need to let it cool completely in the pan, and then we'll cut into it. Okay, let's check on the little muffins that we made. nice and hot. Woo! Okay, now this one's been cooling in the pan, and I want to go ahead and cut into it so you can see what it looks like. First, you need to go around the edge. Get all that blueberry that's stuck to the side of the pan off. Looks good though. Look at that. Does that look good? I think it's time. Let me get a plate. Wonderful. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but it looks great. Still a little warm, so you can cool it completely a little bit more, or you can eat it right now. The one thing that I really like about this coffee cake is there's no skimping on those blueberries. They're all the way through it and they taste great. Enjoy.